Here on the Sam channel, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, all sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. Sunday, June 11th, and we're going to get some rain today. Some of you have already picked up a little bit of rain on this Sunday morning with the warm front that in my podcast yesterday I talked about would move across the area, and out ahead of that front, that boundary, we would see scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. And that's what we're seeing this morning. But all of that is lifting, as you can see, off to the north and east. So this is the first wave of activity that is making its way through. And once the warm front comes through, like it is in the Bowling Green area right now, then that's going to shut off the rain for, well, a good portion of the morning into about the midday. But what's back west is a cold front, and that's what's going to bring us a second wave of activity this afternoon. And that wave looks to be a lot stronger than what you're looking at right now. Most of the shower activity is now moving into southeastern Kentucky and central Kentucky, into eastern Kentucky, eastern Tennessee. So again, all this will continue to move east as we go through the morning. And some of you may be able to work in a few hours of no rain at all until this comes in. This cold front starts to push in later this afternoon. And that's when we could get some heavy rain and maybe even a few strong thunderstorms. Oops, I didn't mean to turn my camera off. I meant to hit this next button, which is going to show you what I'm looking at as far as the threat of severe weather. And the level of severe weather has gone up. Now, before you start getting into a kind of a concerned or almost panicky kind of mode when you see something like this, don't do that. That's the worst thing you can do. What we're looking at here, the main severe weather threats for today are straight line damaging winds and heavy rainfall. Okay. Tornado threat, we can never say zero. I would never say zero, but it's low. This is going to be the kind of system that will be a wind and rain producing system. So those of you that are in the know, watching me, don't be concerned about tornadoes. This is not going to be one of those situations. This is going to be more about straight line winds. I mean, there could be a little spin somewhere, but the threat for that is not that high. So we're in the level 3 enhanced risk now for severe thunderstorms come later this afternoon. As you can see, that orange colored area, that's an enhanced risk. And I know some of you may think, well, that means we could have tornadoes. Again, the tornado threat is very low, just given the dynamics of the system, the shear profiles, and shear is just changing wind direction with height. We're just not seeing those kind of parameters that would negate, or it would actually promote tornado development. That's not to say there won't be one, but the more likelihood or probability of severe weather is going to be number one, wind damage. There, as these storms collapse and as these storms come through, once they start to form a line, then that's when we see the greatest threat for straight line winds that could do some tree damage and maybe knock out some power to some places. But tornadoes kind of way down here on the scale. And you see surrounding us, we've got a level 2 and a level 1. So everybody is under that threat. And this is not for this morning. This is for later this afternoon after lunchtime. Okay. So that's, more likely about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon till about 7 or so. Once we get past, the best heating of the day. And that's the thing. After this morning showers, we're going to have a period where we could see the sun coming through, heating up the atmosphere. And then we get that second wave, which could be potent. All right, let's take a look at the 10-day blender, then I'll go back and do the details on the severe weather threat. But the next 10 days, warm. We do get a reprieve starting today, low 80s. Then we go mid 70s tomorrow. It's going to feel nice for a Monday. And then we go near 80 on Tuesday. Then the heat and the humidity come back for all of next week and the next weekend. There you see mid to upper 80s and even some low 90s eventually. But those 90s keep getting scooted back further into the period. So we thought by now we would be back into the 90s, but these systems coming in keep knocking the temperatures down, which is okay. We're getting these little breaks as long as we can get some rain in here, and I'll show you the drought situation coming up here in just a second because it's where the concern is not so much about heat now. It's over the amount of rain or the lack of rain. We got to get some rain in here and consistent rainfall. All right, here's a look at the Kentucky Mesonet temperatures as of 5:25 a.m. this morning. You've got nice 50s out to the east, and then you start to see a lot of 60s. That's the warm front. Notice the warm front slicing right through the central part of Kentucky. Behind it, upper 60s and even low 70s. Yeah, you can tell the air is muggy. It's getting muggier, it's getting more humid. That's the moisture that's available in the air to be used by the cold front come later this afternoon, which will spark another round of showers and thunderstorms later today. And that's what we've, got to watch. All right, let's get to the model map and I'll show you the timing of the showers coming through. What you're looking at right now is the warm front, which is now slicing through the area. It's providing that lift into the atmosphere. There's the low pressure system. So we've got these showers out ahead of the system, but then we still have to deal with the actual cold front, which is back toward the Boot Hill of Missouri and near Memphis, Tennessee. It's going to take several hours to get that thing in here. So the warm front now has passed. Any shower activity that some of you got this morning, it's over for a few hours. But with the cold front coming in back behind it, this is going to be the next thing that comes through, swings through, and brings us the next round and the more potent round of showers and thunderstorms. So let's take a look at the timing here. And you can see it comes up pretty quick here. We're talking about 19 universal time. That's going to put us right at, like I said, 1 or 2 o'clock this afternoon. We'll begin to see, these little clusters of showers and thunderstorms. This is what will have to be watched for the potential for maybe a few severe thunderstorms containing damaging wind. And the rainfall could be heavy as well. Tornadoes, these don't look like they're going to be so isolated that they become like supercell thunderstorms, a lot of twisting, a lot of rotation. There will be some, but these look to be multi-cell clusters. In other words, you get a cluster of thunderstorms instead of just one being by itself. If we were looking at the models and looking at future radar and seeing these individual cells showing up, that would be a concern. Plus, we look at the dynamics of the system. We don't see a whole lot of the spin that it takes to produce tornadoes. I don't want you to let your guard down. You need to turn your weather radios on and leave them on today. But uh, it doesn't look like it's going to be a real tornadic type situation. Somebody, Paducah, Louisville, Nashville, that those offices may see enough spin to put a tornado warning up for somebody today if that threat shows up. But it's going to be on the low end. This is not going to be tornado outbreak. This is not going to be everybody just duck and cover. It's not going to be like that. So in the afternoon, 1 or 2 o'clock, we'll begin to see these thunderstorms cluster up. And then you start to see these lines like that and like this. That's along the warm front. So we're going to have these lines coming through. And when they come through, they're going to pack a punch. Most likely, damaging wind threat. That's the number one thing. So if you've got anything outdoors you need to bring in, just like, back in March, early April, when we had all those winds, almost like weekly, it's going to be kind of like that. Trampolines, garbage cans, patio furniture, whatever you got out, plants that could blow away, bring them in this morning while you've got this window of opportunity to take care of that. So here we go into the late afternoon and evening. This starts to wane off and pull back. We get the frontal system coming through that's going to push all this out to the south and east of us. So by 7, 8 o'clock this evening, this will be pretty much over. There will be maybe some lingering showers this evening, but overnight things begin to clear out. And as you can see, we get into Monday, everything looks good. Tuesday, everything looks good. Now, by Wednesday, we're going to have another little lobe of moisture that will come in and bring us yet another chance of showers. But the key timing to watch for today is going to be, say, after 1 o'clock and then to about sunset. Okay. That's when we're more likely to get the thunderstorms, heavy rain, gusty winds, and maybe even some damaging wind. But I just want to make sure you understand the tornado threat is not zero, but it's low. Okay. There could be, this renegade spin up somewhere. Just, know that it's not going to be an outbreak or anything like that. What about the need for water? I do want to touch on this, the drought situation. Most of us are in the abnormally dry category, which is the yellow. I know it doesn't include Bowling Green or Warren County, but let's let's just say that everybody has dry, broken, scorched yards and fields, and everything is just really, really dry. In some parts of central Kentucky, that kind of tan color, well, that's a moderate drought. So we really need some rainfall, and we're going to get maybe enough not to make up the difference, but maybe split it in half. Right now, we're about 3.5 inches behind on year to date rainfall, and what we're showing coming in today potentially could bring us an inch to an inch and a half. Because there you see the potential. You see these little purple lines here. That's where those thunderstorm lines are going to produce the heaviest rain. You look at the scale over here, and that's right on the border between an inch and a quarter and an inch and a half. Let's hope we get more closer to the inch and a half, because that would split the difference. That would catch us up by half. That would be wonderful if we could do that. Even if we just get an inch or close to an inch of rain, it's going to help matters. So this is going to be some beneficial rainfall. It's not going to eradicate the rainfall deficit, but it's going to put us at a better position here for the beginning of June and get us back on track or close to it. All right, quickly the maps going through. There's the warm front setting up the showers and the thunderstorms this morning with round one. And then round two comes with the low pressure system riding along the Ohio River, dragging the cold front with it. As you see, the dark green and the red lines indicate heavy rain and thunderstorms. So we go into the evening, still raining, still thunderstorms, still some potential heavy rainfall. And then it starts to slack off overnight into early Monday. Skies will gradually clear on Monday. High pressure builds in Monday night into Tuesday. Tuesday looks good. And then Wednesday, we start to see a stalling out of the system to the south with high pressure to the east. That means we get a backflow coming off the rotation of the high pressure. So Gulf moisture sticks around, and it's more going to be those late day showers that pop up. You start out sunny, clouds start to build, late day showers and thunderstorms, into the afternoon, and that's going to happen Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So here we go. Wednesday into Thursday, into Friday. You see what I mean? It just sticks around. Saturday, still there, another low pressure system and a hanging up of this system going to keep rain in the forecast, even though it's not painted in on this map for Saturday. We'll still be in the wet zone. So that's actually good. We need that rain. Even after what we get today, we're still going to need some rain to keep us out of a drought situation and that precipitation deficit, which is right now about 3.5 inches below where we need to be for this time of the year. So I say, bring it on. We need it. All right. That'll do it. And of course, now the weather stick is yellow. It looks kind of white, but it's yellow. So that's caution. Weather stick is in the caution, telling us just be alert. I'm not going to put it in the red because there's too many outliers out there to go red, like full tornado type situation. It's not that. So yellow caution today. Keep your weather radios turned on. Plug in your cell phone and keep it charged. Like if you're going to church this morning, I know you'll have it with you, but then when you get home, plug it in and just keep it there in case warnings do happen. Turn your weather radios on and check back here if things do get, a little bumpy, and the weather starts getting a little rough. I will determine whether I'm going to pop back in live, either on the radio or here on the SAM channel, and do coverage. But I don't anticipate it to be that. We'll just have to see how this starts to, bake, in other words, this afternoon. So I'll be watching it all day long. In the meantime, have a great Sunday. Be weather aware, be weather safe. God bless you. And I'll see you back here hopefully tomorrow morning.